Hey there, folks. My name is Amiibo Jason, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Wiretap. This time for March 14th, 2018. Today is a bit of a somber day, as Toys R Us has confirmed it will be shutting down all locations in the US and the UK. You might remember late last year, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy and many of its locations ended up shutting its doors. After all was said and done, over 700 US locations were still in business. Sadly, today it looks like those 700 stores will indeed be closing. Toys R Us's Chief Executive Officer David Brandon delivered the news today to employees that the company intends to file liquidation paperwork starting today. Overall, a total of 33,000 US jobs will be lost. Now a bit of a personal story. I grew up as a Toys R Us kid. Toys R Us was one of the places that my family could take me and always put a smile on my face no matter what kind of mood I was in. I always gravitated towards the video game section, and Toys R Us never had a shortage of amazing Nintendo games. I picked up my very first Game Boy there. I picked up my very first copy of Pokemon there. I know it seems strange, but the idea of this store dying also makes me feel like a piece of my childhood is dying as well. Toys R Us has always had a really good connection with Nintendo fans as well. Many exclusive amiibo were also a big part of Toys R Us, including Greninja, Mega Yarn Yoshi, and heck, we even had the Villager reprint. The one thing I always knew when I went into a Toys R Us to get amiibo was that the staff was always friendly and knowledgeable, and many other like-minded people who loved amiibo and loved Nintendo came as well. The lines around the building when the amiibo craze were at its absolute highest were some of my all-time best memories. I've met amazing people in those lines, and Toys R Us really brought us together. There's no word yet on when we can expect these liquidation sales to start happening, but if you are a Toys R Us fan and you want to remember it fondly, I highly recommend you go to a store as soon as possible before it's just another memory. As we end today's Wiretap, I want to ask you what your fondest memories of Toys R Us are. What did you do there as a kid? What was your first experience with Toys R Us? Why are you still a Toys R Us kid? Share with us your stories in the comments down below. And that's going to wrap up today's installment of the Nintendo Wiretap, again for March 14th, 2018. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a more upbeat story for you, but for the time being, let's have a moment of silence for Toys R Us.